So getting lean is not about the external validation, right? I know in a lot of my videos, I talk about people respecting you, people giving you more opportunities and things like that, right? That's a big plus. That's a big bonus that you get from getting lean and getting in shape. But getting lean is just a byproduct of you just having pride in yourself. It's a byproduct of you keeping your word to yourself every day, which requires you to actually respect yourself, right? Like that's what this whole getting lean, that's what this whole getting in shape thing is about. It's not about the respect that you're gonna get from people. It's about the respect that you're gonna give yourself. Because at the end of the day, what is life if you don't respect yourself, right? And respecting yourself is not eating whatever, putting bullshit in your body and doom scrolling all day and just like letting your brain rot, not having any goals or ambitions. That is not respecting yourself. Because as a human being, you are put on this earth and you have these capabilities. You have think about how crazy our brains are, that we can think of all these things, that we can have all these concepts, that we can create shit, right? As a human being, you can create things from thin air. You can create money from thin air. You can create content. You can create just anything, right? As a human being, because you have this powerful processor in your mind. And instead of using it to develop your body and develop your mind, you're doom scrolling, you're feeding your body bullshit, which is actually going to destroy your fucking brain. Because if you didn't know this, your gut is actually connected to your brain. So the more bullshit you feed your gut, the more shit your brain is going to be, right? So you're destroying yourself. You're quite literally destroying yourself with junk because you don't respect yourself, because you have no standards. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense, right? And a lot of people will say I'm vain. A lot of people say, oh, you know, getting lean doesn't matter. Getting in shape doesn't matter. It's vain, right? Like, you care about appearance. You want external validation. Like, no, having abs, having veins, having a V line or I can't even think of this shit right now. But having the V shape, right? You know, the wide shoulders, slim waist, is a byproduct of me just respecting myself. Like when I started this journey, I wasn't thinking, damn, I'm gonna get a V taper, I'm gonna get a big chest, wide shoulders. Like, no, I just started and I was like, you know what? I want to be the healthiest version I can be. I just want to be the strongest version of myself that I can be. And that's just a byproduct, right? Like if you would have told me when I was 15, when I started lifting, that I was going to look like this, I would not have believed you, right? And again, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I don't want to be the biggest guy in the world. But I went from being 120 pounds soaking wet, right? Like that's a good day. Usually I was 115 pounds. But I went from that to where I'm at now, like 145 pounds. You know, I've been 160 before. I got really heavy in the Marine Corps because I just ate the chow hall food every day and I was just lifting every day. So I got pretty heavy. Like I was like 160 at my heaviest. You know, I had a little bit of a gut. I still had abs, but I had a little bit of a gut. I was probably like 17%, 18% body fat at the time. And then from that, I went to, you know, bodybuilding. So I had to cut down for my show, which was like, I was like 138, 137. I was very, very lean for my competition. I was probably like 4% body fat around there, 4 or 5%, probably lower to be honest. Like that shit was crazy. But I say that to say, I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. I don't know what I was saying that to say, but I'm just trying to paint a picture of like how getting lean will transform your life, because it'll actually make you want to try shit. It'll actually make you want to explore, right? Like I've done sales, I've done solar sales, car sales. I've done multiple different gyms for personal training. I'm doing the online training now. I did the military, right? Like all of that was a byproduct of me committing to being the best version of myself, the healthiest version of myself, right? Because when I stopped saying yes to everything, when I stopped going out and partying like I was back then, which is every weekend, when I stopped doing that, that's when I started to actually have more pride in myself. That's when I started to have more self-respect. And when you have self-respect for yourself, people will respect you more. Again, you're not getting lean for other people. You're getting lean for yourself, but other people are going to notice, right? Other people are going to notice that you actually give a shit about yourself. Because everybody wants to be lean, right? Like this idea that, body positivity, one, is fucking bullshit. And we've seen that with Ozempic and Wegovy and all these GLP-1s. We've seen that it's bullshit. Because the same people who were saying, oh, body positivity, love yourself. Yeah, it's okay to be 300 pounds overweight. As soon as you throw some Ozempic out there, some Wegovy out there, some GLP-1s, shit, the same people are on it, right? The same people are taking it. Because everybody wants to be the healthiest version of themselves. But not everybody wants to put in the work that it takes to be the healthiest version of themselves. Not everybody wants to do that. Most people want to be comfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable, especially, in today's day, bro, the men out there in today's, I'm actually kind of scared for the future because dudes do not want to be uncomfortable. Dudes do not want to go through a little bit of pain. They don't want to develop a little bit of discipline, right? Like the guys out there today don't want to do that shit. They're coddled, they're raised by single moms. Now, I'm not saying being raised by a single mom is a bad thing. I was raised by a single mother, but my mother never coddled me, right? My mother, she gave me a lot of the things that I wanted. I mean, she gave me everything I wanted as a kid, but she never coddled me. She never raised me to be like a man hater or a feminist kind of guy. My mom never raised me like that. Even though my dad wasn't in the picture, he went to prison and shit like that. But even though my dad wasn't there, my mom never, ever, ever implanted any like negative things about my dad in my head. And I am forever grateful for her for that, right? Like I always tell her, like, thank you for not raising me like that. Because when you look out there and you see how a lot of these mothers are raising their kids, especially boys, to like hate their dad and hate men and be like this feminine dude. That's why we have so many guys that don't want to feel any sort of pressure. They don't want to feel any sort of discomfort. It's because of that, right? Like, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we have so many weak men out there. It actually blows my fucking mind, right? And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but we got to call a spade a spade. We got to call a spade a spade. Because there's no reason why you as a guy should be 30% body fat, 35% body fat, depressed, looking in the mirror, not liking what you see. There's no reason for that. You have a body that is capable of insane strength, right? Like when you really think about it, you have a body that's capable of being strong, being fit, and you're choosing to just sit in comfort all day, doom scroll, watch porn, eat a bunch of junk food, fucking fry your dopamine receptors and keep doing the same thing over again. That is not how you should be living your life, right? And I don't even want to come off like that because I don't want to tell people how they should live their life, right? Like everybody has the autonomy to do whatever the fuck they want to do with their life. But I just know that's the kind of life you regret living because you've never actually reached your full potential. Right? And then you have to rely on other people to take care of you when you're older. You're going to have to probably get put in a nursing home. You're going to have to be in a wheelchair, all that fucking crazy shit that you see these overweight people that are older, having to go through. And then you're like, why the fuck would I want to live like that? Why not just put down the fucking fork? Why not just count your food, track your food, go to the gym consistently, and be the healthiest version of yourself? I'm not saying you have to get down to 10% body fat, 9% body fat. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you have to be shredded, okay? For all the people in the comments that always say, oh, you don't have to be shredded, shredded's stupid, it's unhealthy. I'm not telling you to be shredded, okay? I'm not telling you to get ready for a bodybuilding competition. I'm telling you to be the healthiest version of yourself, which means being self-aware of what you are putting in your mouth, prioritizing your health and prioritizing yourself, right? And then eventually you will get to, 15% body fat, 10% body fat, whatever your goal actually is, wherever you want to get to. But being the healthiest version of yourself doesn't mean you have to be there. It just means you are taking the actions, you are living with the habits that the healthiest version of you would do. That's all that it means. And then once you get closer to your goal and you start to really see the byproduct of that, which is people respecting you, people giving you more opportunities, people wanting to talk to you more, people asking you more questions, asking you for advice, coming to you, right? I wasn't lonely in school. Like, I had a few friends that I were really close with at the time. And I had like acquaintances, like people that knew me and I knew them, but I was never really the cool kid, right? Like, I was always kind of weird in my own way. People would make fun of my nose because it's fucking huge, obviously. Like, people would make fun of my height and all that shit. And, you know, I think I had one girlfriend in high school, like one serious relationship, right? However serious you think high school relationships are. But I had one relationship, I believe, or two in high school. And nobody really gave a fuck about me like that. Nobody really asked me for advice or anything like that. You know, I was just smoking weed with my friends and shit and drinking and shit like that, partying. But nobody actually really cared like that, right? And then fast forward to today, I have dudes that I know from high school that are older than me, right? Like, I knew them from high school, but they're older than me, being like, yo, you got big, what do you do? Shit like that. And then when I say, it's just nutrition. Like, you just gotta lock in on your nutrition, you gotta lock in on your diet. Like, I'm not special, I just locked in on my diet. Like, oh yeah, I'm trying to eat clean. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get my diet right. You know, it's hard, shit like that. It's like, people will say that they're trying, but they're not actually doing the thing. They're not really trying. Because it's I don't know, it's kind of it's the word trying, it's like, oh, I'm trying to do this. Why aren't you just doing it? Right? Like, are you really trying to weigh out your foods? Are you really trying to put your food in MyFitnessPal and track it? Are you really trying to go to the gym consistently? Are you really trying to go to bed at a good time? Like, are you really trying? Probably not, right? Most likely, like, the chances are that you're not. Because it's the people that say, I'm doing, that are actually doing the thing. I'm weighing out my foods every day. I'm speaking for me. I'm weighing out all my food every day. I'm going to bed at the time that I set for myself that night. I'm waking up at the time that I set for myself that night. I'm going to the gym when I say I'm going to the gym, even if I don't feel like it. I'm doing these things. I'm reading my books. I'm creating my content. I'm not trying to do it, because if I'm just trying, I'm not really doing shit. So the language around your goals and what you actually want to do needs to change if you really want to do that thing. You got to stop telling yourself that you're trying. You just got to do. Say, I am that person. Because once you say I am, that's when you really start aligning. And your body's going to follow your mind. I actually made a TikTok and Instagram reel about this earlier, where it's like, I know in the fitness space, people will say, oh, your mind will transform, you know, when you transform your body. But really, it's the other way around. Like, your mind has to transform way before your body does. Because it's your mind telling you to eat the bullshit. It's your mind telling you to doom scroll. It's your mind telling you not to go to the gym. It's not your body, right? Your body just follows what your mind is telling you. So if you can train your brain to actually want the things that are better for you, are good for you, that are going to get you towards your goal, that's when your body's going to follow. But you have to allow yourself to be that person, and you have to understand that you deserve to be that person, right? Like, I think a lot of people mess up when it comes to changing their physique and transforming their body and their mind, is that they don't think that they deserve to be that person because of some guilt that they're carrying around or some shame, when in reality, everybody deserves to be the healthiest version of themselves. Everybody does. Everybody has the capability. And when I say everybody, I obviously do not mean the people who physically cannot, or, you know, have some sort of condition or some shit like that allows them, or that doesn't allow them to do that, right? Of course. But I'm talking about the majority of people who have all their limbs, who have, you know, they're able to do this Like they have the capability. Everybody has that. But not everybody's gonna reach that potential, right? And when you start to reach that potential, or when you even start to go for that potential, you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna become a lone wolf, right? Until you find people that actually align with your goals and who you want to be. Because right now, if you're watching this video, you probably have a friend group that isn't aligned with your goals, that every time you get around them, you're doing things that don't align with who you want to be. You're probably gonna have to get rid of those people or remove them from your life, or just be like, hey, listen, I got goals that I want to achieve, and hanging out with you guys and doing this stuff is not conducive to that, so I'm just gonna have to distance myself. You're probably gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to change your environment in order to get to the leanest version of yourself. Most people are not willing to do that. Most people rather be comfortable with the people that they're with. Most people rather be comfortable with the bad habits that they have, because it allows them to escape from the thoughts that they have in their mind. It allows them to not have to sit with themselves. And when you sit with yourself, that is when you start to really understand who you are. Like, most people are walking, most people, let me get my water. I'm hella thirsty right now. Oof. Most people are walking around not knowing who they are. Like, you know who you are, right? Like, I know my name. I know what I look like. I know who I am. But do you know who you are? Like, do you know why your brain works the way that it works? Why you think the thoughts that you have? Do you understand, the traumas that you might have gone through, or the things that you might have gone through that shapes your perception of things? Do you understand that stuff about yourself? Most people don't. They're just walking, again, on autopilot, not doing any work up here. Because when you do the work up here, everything else follows. Simple. It's very simple. So become the leanest version of yourself. Become the healthiest version of yourself. Not for the external validation, but for yourself. And a byproduct of that is the respect, is the opportunities, is the energy to keep going forward in life, to take a better look at everything in your life and improve all aspects. Like, back then when I didn't care about my health like that, when I was just drinking and partying and smoking with my friends and I didn't care about my health, I was just spending money like an idiot. I've been in debt twice. The first time I believe it was like $40K. Then the second time, it was probably around the same, like $40,000, $50,000. I had an Amex Platinum that I maxed out. I had 2 credit cards that I maxed out after that, or at the same time. I had a car that I took a loan out for that I couldn't afford to pay. And then when I actually started focusing on my health, when I started counting my calories, this is going to sound simple, right? But when I started counting my calories, when I started really being self-aware of my body and in tune with my body and my mind, that's when I got myself out of debt. That's when I paid off my car. That's when I realized that all the material shit that we're told to give a fuck about doesn't actually really matter. And now I don't really have to worry about it, because I actually pay attention to everything in my life now. I'm more aware of everything in my life now. So I can live a better life because of that. Literally because I started giving a shit about my health. Everything changes once you start to commit to the journey of being the healthiest version of yourself, the leanest version of yourself. Everything changes because your mind starts to pay more attention. You start to reflect. You have standards, boundaries, and a vision for what you actually want your future to look like. So if you need help becoming the healthiest version of yourself, not only physically but mentally, link is going to be in the description below. And also the growth on this channel, shit, it's been fucking crazy. I think my last 2 videos had like 3,000 views, which is insane because I only have like 1,200, I believe it is now, subscribers, or we're hitting almost 1,200. So I just want to thank you guys for liking the content, posting positive comments, even the haters, thank you. But yeah, like the growth on this channel is crazy, and I know I haven't been super consistent. I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna keep posting more videos. I'm posting on all my platforms now, like Instagram, TikTok, more consistently. So I am dedicating a lot more time and a lot more of myself to this because I believe that, you know, things will work out the way that they're supposed to work out. So thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you for liking, commenting. Again, if you need help, link will be in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.